So much of this, the crew, bad boy. Let's go to this party. Let's do this wild stuff. I think a lot of people do that because why? They chasing clout. They trying to get put on. They hoping somebody hooked them up. And again, I use the channel why? Because it's how you know me. Y'all ever seen me on anybody else's video? Y'all ever see me trying to get put on? My model is, look, I'm going to work my ass off. I'm going to make the content. I'm going to bring the quality. I don't need, ain't no clout chasing. There's no one that's going to hook me up. There's no one that's going to put me on. I am very intentional about the channel. I literally right now, I kid you not, I have NBA players who smoke cigars, who say, hey, let me come on. Nah, not yet. Because what I'm building. Yeah, I mean, of course, I know a whole bunch of people and I can do little collabs and that's all good. But I'm focused on what am I building right now? What is the channel for real? What am I really trying to put out? What is the real image and ethos of this channel? You see, sometimes we just want to be part of the crew. We want to shine. Nah, I don't want no shine. I'm going to rise and grind. I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to work hard. Diddy had everybody wanting to be a member of Bad Boy. And what is any of them doing today? Look at all them guys from making the band. Did any of them ever get an album? All the bad boys, like I said, they either dead, broke, or in jail. And so when we say no Diddy, you know what we meaning? I don't need your chain. I'm going to rise and grind and get my own chain. I will be an army of one. Why? Because when I was down by myself. And I had to climb me out of the mud. And so I don't need to be a bad boy. What else? What else did we learn? What else did we learn from Diddy? Y'all remember that East Coast, West Coast stuff? Remember Bad Boys versus Death Row? Remember you had to pick a side? Who you with? You with Bad Boy? And so I'm from Miami, so I'm on that side, even though we didn't really have nothing to do with it. But I guess we kind of East Coast. And so I remember us having to say, yeah, we Bad Boy. And I remember having to pick a side. Everyone had to pick a side. I see a lot of y'all on here from Philly. Everyone had to pick a side back in the days. And that's what Bad Boy, you had to be with the crew. Last thing I'll say about the whole no Diddy is this. You know why I could never be no bad boy? Because I ain't beefing with nobody. If you was on the West Coast. Because I went into the Marine Corps in 96. And so then I got stationed in California. So I remember coming from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I remember it being different because I didn't know West Coast was like that. I didn't know nothing about no LA back in 96. And I had to learn that, oh, they don't like us over here. I had to learn that very quickly. And what it signified to me was always just silly. I remember when Snoop Dogg and him and Daz and Corrupt, I remember they did that video about New York. And then Tupac did To Live and Die in LA and California Love. What I learned from early on is look, I ain't beefing with nobody. I ain't picking no sides. I ain't got no beef with nobody. I ain't fighting nobody. How come we the only ones that gotta fight each other? You ever heard about AC/DC fighting Metallica? You think you ever heard of NSYNC fighting Backstreet Boys? Was Kenny Rogers going up against Dolly Parton? How come we the only ones that gotta be fighting? And even in reggae music, I grew up watching Beanie Man fighting Bounty Killer. And now it's Vibes Cartel against Beanie Man. And why are we always beefing? What do we get from it? You know what we get from it? Yeah, I'm a preacher, I'm gonna say it. We get not a damn thing. We don't get nothing from it. We be the most beefinest, the most brokest, the most stressed out is. We got all the beefs in the world. Y'all done figured out Kendrick and Drake and there's always some kind of beef. Don't be beefing and you still broke. You think I'm gonna beef? What did I just say? I just put 2 kids through college. You know what that means? That means I got a lot of college debt to pay. And I'm gonna pay it off. I got a plan. As soon as I pay them 2 off, I got another one coming up in 4 years. We ain't got no time to be beefing. We behind, we losing. We ain't winning. I don't know if y'all. I just got back from Atlanta. I just got back from the Bay Area. I live outside LA. We ain't got no time to be beefing. I was in Houston just the other day. We ain't got no time to be beefing. What you beefing over? What you fighting for? Some must be beefing and he ain't got a damn thing to show for it. You beefing on the block and you don't even own a house. What you beefing over? Your apartment number? What you own? This it ain't yours. Your car is leased. You live in an apartment. What you beefing? What? And so my thing has always been, how about we get our minds right? How about we get us together? How about we start progressing? How about we just start doing a little bit better? There ain't nothing to be beefing over. Now, if you got, and I always say this, I think when Nas and Jay-Z beefed, I think that was, as Jefe says, it's part of the music. I do think that when Nas and Jay-Z beefed, man, they was friends the next day. Nas went and joined the company. I do think some of it is scripted. Some of it is just to drive up sales. Some of it is planned on. There is an entertaining value. I remember Locks beefing with Dipset. Well, they weren't beefing. It was just a versus battle. I think a lot of it is just staged. A lot of it is just for entertainment. And my thing is to say, hey, look, if it's entertaining and you doing it to make some money, maybe you trying to drive up record sales, then sure, go for it. And so what am I getting at? Why am I no Diddy? I'm no Diddy because I ain't never beefing with nobody. I mean, I hate to talk money. Look, I need $1 million in the bank before I beef with anybody. Before I even have a mind shift to say, let me put some energy towards this or that. I say it all the time. Look, man, you can't be beefing and broke. I say, look, I started the chat saying, look, you can't do content. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but look, what I started the chat off by saying is take care of your life, your private life, before you try to do anything publicly. And so I can't even beef with nobody unless I'm in perfect health, unless my kids are all perfectly good, unless I got 7-8 figures in the bank. I can't put that mind or that energy on anything until I take care of me. And I think a lot of times we beefing. Why? Because we jealous of somebody else. We beefing because we trying to get some shine, some clout. We beefing because you mad at what somebody said or did. What's the motto for me? You hear it all the time. It's just rise and grind. Just work. You know what's my real motto? Do I need to join a team? Be with the bad boys? No. I'm going to outwork everybody. Do I need to beef with somebody? No. I'm going to outwork everybody. Do I need to put on a shiny suit? No. I'm going to outwork everybody. That's the motto. If you're trying to make it in life, you're trying to rise, grind, get something, just work. Just put the work in. I look at the whole Diddy situation and everyone's shocked and appalled. And I'm like, what y'all shocked at? Everything about it is suspect. It's been suspect since 92. Shiny suits, crews, beef. Just work really hard. Just rise. Just grind. That's all you got to do. Whatever you're doing in life. You a preacher? Just keep on preaching. Work on your craft. You a plumber? Plumb them toilets. Do your work. Get it done. Content creator, just make your content. Just keep rising and grinding. That model works.